Well, we haven't seen each other in a while, but hi. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to Flower Reads a Lot. My name is Rose, and let's get started. So, I know I have not made a video in a while, okay? Life just really hits ya. It just really hits ya. So I've just been busy, and then I've been trying to have a social life as well so that I can stay happy, productive, less anxious. But I've got to say, Flower has not been reading a lot. I have not finished many books as of recently. I read like one book in August, 3 books in July, finished one in September so far. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little catch-up chit-chat video and talk about some of the books that I have DNF'd this year. And a lot of them I've DNF'd on accident. Like, they're good books, but I just wasn't in the mood for them. So I wanted to just like show you guys a few things just to nerd out a little bit. This past weekend, I don't know when you guys are gonna see this video, when I'm gonna upload it, but I went to fanx in Salt Lake City, and so fun. I've never been to any type of like convention or anything like that, so I was kind of nervous, and I also don't like being around a bunch of people, so that made me nervous. But I went with my friend Lauren, who I do the podcasts with, so go subscribe to her as well. And it was so much fun, guys. I met one of my favorite actresses from childhood. I met Holly Marie Combs, who plays Piper in Charmed, / if you know her from Pretty Little Liars, she plays Arya's mom. And she's so sweet and so cute and so short and little, and I loved her so much. I also met most of the Scream cast that was there, and guys, first of all, Scream is my favorite scary movie franchise. And everyone in that cast is just so nice and so kind and so personable. I can't even. Jamie Kennedy is the homie now. I love him. Matthew Lillard, like, he came out even after everything was closed to finish up, like, signing people's things, taking pictures, hugging. Like, it was so sweet because his line was long, let me tell you. Like, we had to get tickets to see them. I also got to see the Weasley twins. They were very nice. I didn't chit chat with them for too long, but we took a picture with them. That was cool. The other people from Scream, Skeet Ulrich, first of all, so handsome in person. So sweet. He liked my tattoos. I was like, sir. And yeah, Nev Campbell, beautiful. I wanted to geek out a little bit about that. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I know you're here for book content, but still, I'm excited about it. And if you can tell from my background, look how cute! I got a ghost face mask, and I had the 4 of them sign it, and I love it so much. And I will keep this forever. I'm gonna put this in like a little shadow box so that it doesn't get all dusty and gross. And then another thing I wanted to nerd out about is meeting the voice actors of some of my favorite animes. I met the voice of Tanjiro, the English dub, not the original Japanese voice actors, but the voice of Tanjiro, he's so sweet and like so cute. It was very nice meeting him, and I got a little pop signed by him. I don't know if there's a glare because I can't see myself. I don't have a monitor facing me today, so if there's a glare, I'm so sorry. I'll put a picture. But he signed a little pop of Tanjiro, and he was just so sweet, and it was so nice to meet everybody. I also got to meet the voice of Inosuke from Demon Slayer, but I didn't get anything signed by him. But he was funny because you can tell that he's a fan of the stuff that he does. And also, I just saw some really cool cosplay that was there. I didn't take a picture with a lot of them, but here are some of the pictures that I did take. And yeah, I just wanted to share that little snippet of my personal life with you guys because I had fun and I wanted to show you guys. Anyways, let's get to the book content that people are probably here for. Thank you for listening to me ramble. unless you came to this timestamp, then yeah, let's get started. So, some of the books that I have DNF'd this year, I will say, are by accident. I did not mean to DNF this many books, but I have just been so slumpy, especially the second half of this year. Just stuff has happened. I've been busy, overwhelmed with things, like not wanting to put energy into reading. Sometimes I'll just come home and I'm like, reading a book is the last thing I want to do. But I'm trying to get into it because reading makes me feel happy. It gives me joy. So hopefully after this, talking about all the books that I've DNF'd will encourage me to continue to read. So the first book I want to talk about that I have DNF'd multiple times, and honestly, are we surprised at this? It is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. Second book in the Poppy War series. I have talked about how many times I need to read this, still haven't. I keep making it to like chapter 7 and then I just stop reading and then it's a DNF for me. So yeah, one day I'll finish that. The next book I have DNF'd also multiple times is Zodiac Academy 8. It is by accident. Again, I want to read it, but I just can't. First of all, it is so long. I was reading it the other day and on my iPad, it just would not move from 1%. And I was like, what do you mean 1%? I've read like 50 pages. That book is way too long. So I don't know. Maybe that's like an end of the year type of book that I'm going to read. Another book that I have DNF'd is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So I have started this book like 3 times, gotten to page like 15, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not in the mood for like a fantasy like that or what, but I'm so sorry to that man because I really want to read it, but I can't build myself up to read it. The next book, and maybe this is a pattern because it feels like all the books that I have DNF'd so far this year are fantasy books. So maybe it's just I'm not in the fantasy mood, because another book that I have DNF'd on accident is what is that book called? Children of Fallen Gods. It's the second book to Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. Again, it was so good. I got like 25%, 30% through. I don't know. My bookmark is probably still in the book. But it was getting so good. I was really liking the other point of view that was in there. And I just lost interest. I don't know. Maybe I'm having a realization with you guys. Maybe I'm just not in a fantasy mood. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, that makes me feel better. It's not that I'm like super slumpy. It's just fantasy is not what I'm into right now. Oof. But the next book that I have DNF'd multiple times, it's not, again, guys, it's not because I don't like these books. It is just because I have a problem. I have started Full Brutal by Christopher Triana multiple times. And it is such a short book as well. And I just know I'm going to like it. But I can't. I don't know what it is. So I guess that's one of my non-fantasy books that I have DNF'd so far. The next book that I have DNF'd, again, multiple times. I'm so sorry that I sound like a broken record. But it is The Vow of Deception. I don't know. It'll Be Over Here by Rena Kent. Is it by Rena Kent? Yes, by Rena Kent. This is like a mafia romance. I know I haven't even been talking about what these books are about. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to get back in the hang of making a YouTube video. But this is like a mafia romance, marriage of convenience, forced marriage pretty much. And I've liked it, but I don't know what it is. I get again to like chapter 6 and then I just lose interest. I don't know what's going on. Is it my attention span? Is it just the books that I'm reading? I have no idea, but that's another one. Okay, honestly, this list is not as long as I thought because I only have one last book that I DNF'd this year, and it was a book club pick. First of all, shout out to my book club, A Very Risky Book Club. I am so sorry, guys, that we're a hot mess over there, but it's so great. It's so fun. You should join. Anyways, I don't even know what month this was. We tried to carry it over, But one of our picks was my best friend's Exorcism. And again, I started it. I really was liking it. DNF'd it. And I was enjoying the story so far. But I just can't. I can't seem to finish a book these days. So one day. Besides all of my DNFs, I did want to give you guys a little update on my reading as of recently. Maybe kind of like a mini wrap up. I don't know. But I read Dead Inside for my podcast. If you have not watched that episode, it is Control Your Shelf on YouTube and all the streaming platforms. We did that episode with Haley Hughes on YouTube, and it was unhinged, hilarious, so fun to film. Dead Inside is, it just, my brain, yeah. If you have not read Dead Inside and you like extreme horror, I honestly recommend it because it is satire. I had to kind of be convinced for a little bit until there were a few parts I was like, okay, this book is self-aware. Because when you're first reading it, it's about this guy who is a necrophiliac and a woman who likes to eat dead babies, and they're kind of falling in love a little bit. And it's like, oh my gosh, some of the stuff that they do is just so awful. Like, why am I reading this? But it is very self-aware and kind of making fun of a lot of the different tropes and things that happen in extreme horror. So I think you should read that book if you like extreme horror. Another book that I read recently, again, I'm pretty sure Dead Inside was the only book I read in August. And then the only book I've finished so far in September is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I felt all the feels while reading this book. I can't even put into words. I've obviously never experienced a lot of things that happen in this book, but it was just like gut-wrenching, but also so liberating to see the things that were happening. So basically, we follow our main character, whose name is Rose. I kind of had to get over the fact that the main character's name was Rose and we were in her POV. But our main character, Rose, super religious, from this small town. Like, she's very religious. Her family is also very religious. And it starts out with her going cliff diving with a couple of friends that are out. I believe she's in high school. And they're out with a couple of friends cliff diving. And she's having some thoughts. She sees like this creepy woman across the way, like black hair, scary, long fingers. And she's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Am I being haunted? And it kind of goes through her feeling things, like thinking, do I like women? Do I like girls? Like, what is going on? What are these different feelings that I have? No, I can't. Like, that's a sin, blah, 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 right? And it's so good. I don't want to spoil too much, but it has to do with a conversion camp. So if that is a trigger for you, maybe don't read this, but it is so good, and it honestly kind of pulled me out of the slump that I was having because it was so good. I just don't have words for how amazing I think it was. So I really think that you should read it and check it out. I highly recommend it. And my final reading update, it is something that I am currently reading, and I'm hoping to vlog this. If I don't, sorry, I'm not making any promises, but I am hoping to vlog it. I have started reading Twilight for the first time. As a 25-year-old woman reading Twilight for the first time, it is an experience. That's all I have to say. Also, this is like very true to the movie. Well, the movie is very true to this, in my opinion. I feel like everything that I've read so far, it's exactly the same. I am picturing Bella with a little more like personality than what we saw in the movies, but still, I think it's very accurate. And I gotta say, I've always been Jacob Black, like, on his team. Edward is just, like, giving me the ick in this book. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching my ramble. I know that this was very disorganized and probably confusing. I don't know. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for sticking around. Please subscribe, like this video, leave me a comment. Just tell me hi, tell me how you've been, what you've been reading, what you've been up to. Alright, well, love you. Bye.